What's the role of a music supervisor? I think in this case you're like the director in a way.
I can't take credit for that. I mean, the directorial team are incredible, and really, my role as a music supervisor is to help them serve the story and help serve their vision. Um, we had an amazing team who worked for over 2 years in the edit, piecing this behemoth of a story together and finding the various strands. And along with the archive producers, they were instrumental in unearthing some previously unseen footage of incredible artists and bands. And I think my role was predominantly to help try and secure the rights and get the music rights to these pivotal songs to help tell the story.
In 1971, I was familiar with the music, but the way you presented it, I didn't know that it all happened in a year of convulsion, the Vietnam War, civil rights, racism, Nepal in Vietnam. So it was a very rough year, and I think music really helped us to understand the time we were living. Not only help us, but also uh, guide us to go out to the street and protest. Would you agree with that? And what can you comment on that aspect of the movie, of the docu series?
Yeah, I think you spot on. I think it was such political times, and there was a direct symbiosis between the songs and the songwriters and society. I think you have Marvin Gaye writing "What's Going On" in protest about the Vietnam War. Likewise with John Lennon writing songs with "I don't want to be songs like "I don't want to be a soldier, Mama, I don't want to die." You have Aretha Franklin standing side by side with Angela Davis during her trials and even offering to pay the bail bond. I think artists, rock stars were the most influential people of that period, and they weren't afraid to use their voice. We opened the series on Neil Young picking up a guitar and writing "Ohio" in direct um, in a direct sort of anger and protest at the Kent State massacre. You have Bob Dylan writing George Jackson, John Lennon releasing a song to help the Oz trials. Rock stars and bands were not afraid to nail their colours to the mast and stand up for what they believe in.
Why, Ian? Why would you say that nowadays music is fantastic, beautiful, and everything, but I don't think there's a response to reality like it was like the response that these great people did in 1971. Do you think it's a cultural thing, or we live a period of more calm? I don't think so, but why is Justin Bieber so popular and not like, I don't know, Carol King 2021?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think music and politics will always coexist. I think it's not something that is just centric to 1971. All throughout the ages, musicians have used their voice and their lyrics to protest against wrongs. I think this was a particular pressure cooker time. It's 50 years ago. And, in a strange way, everything's changed, but actually very little has changed. The only thing that's changed is that we're all walking around with computers in our hands, but there is so many parallels to the story from 1971 that we face globally in 2021. That was one of the biggest takeaways for me watching it as a whole body. Um, I don't know what the answer is about whether some pop stars are less political nowadays. Maybe they're a little bit more conscious. I mean, we certainly see in 1971 that a lot of the forward thinking progressive protesting artists were having their phone taps and were actively acknowledged to be on the FBI's watch list. Maybe there's a wider paranoia But I do think there are some people, some artists of today that are really championing their own causes, whether that's more privately or not. But it's a fascinating year for that in its own right. Yeah.
So, Ian, what was the biggest challenge that you faced coordinating all this, choosing the music? And I'm sure it was a very enriching process for you. I mean, for me, listening to the music, I go crazy. So, and you finding it, did you go crazy now?
Yeah,
The
absolutely. I mean,
satisfaction, I mean.
oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we have there's 150 songs by 58 different artists, and I, the whole team really just immersed themselves in the music of that era and rediscovered it. Many albums are in my own personal vinyl collection that I've enjoyed over the years. I think the wider challenge for me was one of helping piece together this probably unparalleled rights exercise. I think this is arguably the biggest music documentary series of all time. Certainly features some of the most high profile bands ever and that ever will be, from the likes of the Rolling Stones, John Lennon, George Harrison, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, you know, Pink Floyd. The list is endless. Marvin Gaye, Curtis Mayfield, Gil Scott Heron. It just goes on and on. And I think that was the biggest challenge, was really helping the filmmakers realize their vision and piecing this huge huge ongoing rights negotiation together to enable to let them do justice.